everybody, to the What the Fuck Is This Movie? The podcast.
That's so accurate.
Yes, welcome everybody to a perfectly cromulent Simpsons show. This episode's not about the Simpsons. You've been here long enough. You know that every now and again we'll do a movie in lieu of a Simpsons episode. Kristen is my co-host. Hello, Kristen. How are you tonight?
I'm here to talk about this movie. I'm not sure how I am.
So yeah, if you guys know the show, normally we, two lifelong Simpsons fans sits down, talk about an episode of The Simpsons. What we are doing now is every month that The Simpsons ends, so we just finished December of 1992 for The Simpsons, we are now watching a movie from that year. There are no rules about that because technically this movie never had a theatrical release, but it's a 1992 film. The cast list was too much for us not to go into. So Kristen was like, I'll watch that piece of shit with you. And we sat down 2 nights ago and we watched this movie. Listen, I have never made a film. I would love to.
Oh, it'd be so much fun.
But the amount of things about films that I've watched, I totally get how hard it must be to make a film. Please, anything I'm ever saying bad about, especially something like this. So I'll talk shit about Bram Stoker's Dracula with fucking Gary Oldman all fucking day. He wasn't the bad part about that, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
First of all,
they're well established. They were big famous people when they did it. The fuck ups they made were on themselves. Okay.
Yes. And that's the case here too, but these are not people. We'll get to it, but I get it. So please understand that I'm not even a film critic. I didn't go to film school. These are my opinions. Take them as you will, but I'm about to shit on this movie. So if anybody involved in High Strung either doesn't have a thick skin and is listening to this, I should say, doesn't have a thick skin or doesn't want to just hear what I feel about this movie right now, just turn it off. It's not a good movie. You know it too, but
or listen and laugh because maybe
I'm going to say bad things.
Horrible.
Yeah, I'm going to say bad things. So, this movie, High Strung, 1992, Kristen. This was up against A Few Good Men.
Wait, right before you go into that shit, I just want to point out that some people's first movies are fucking brilliant, though. Okay,
you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Kevin Smith and like doing Clerks with credit cards.
Yeah.
Even the student film from is it Edgar Wright I think it was Edgar Wright. His student film he did looks exactly like Hot Fuzz, and he did that in high school. There are some
people
have a special spark.
Steve Oedekerk wasn't one.
This was not one. Okay, go on, Ben.
Or Roger Nygaard, I guess. I should have looked up some of these people's IMDb's a little deeper. I just cared so little about this film that it was like, I'm gonna get whatever's on the Wikipedia.
Yeah, no, you're fine.
Okay, so 1992's High Strung. I'm actually going to pull up the list of movies that we had on there, but basically I made a list for Kristen and I of the next few months that were coming up, here are the movies we could watch. And this one came up against, I know, A Few Good Men, The Muppets Christmas Carol, which is fantastic. Wow. See, now I can't even get to the damn thing. But basically, there were some huge movies, and I was like, "What is High Strung?" Because I just went to 1992 box office, and I don't know where the box office number comes from, but that's where I found this. So maybe the film festivals it was at charged, and I don't know.
Yeah, because I did read that this was in a few film, a couple indie film festivals.
Yes, and I have the list of those. But so the total this film made, we'll just get it out of the way now, $718.
Yeah,
so I can assure you, and I can assure you, it did not clear the budget. But let's see, real quick, December 1992. Forever Young, Leap of Faith. Scent of a Woman.
It's December, right? Summer movies and winter movies, right? December is a big time for all your winter into New Year's.
Yeah, it's like 4th of July and Christmas. And then Robin Williams' Toys was also on this month.
Yeah.
So good movie. Maybe not Robin Williams' best movie. Maybe too surrealist for me, but anyway.
I rewatched that one with some people, and all I could think was I don't think I like this movie. And so people were raving about it, and I'm like, no, I don't think I like it.
We watched 1 Hour Photo not too long ago. I can't remember if you were there.
That's a good movie.
Exactly. It had been so long since I saw it, but rest in peace, Rob Williams.
Yeah. Give me
Okay,
some of the
so 1992, or some places say 91, but it is 1992. High Strung. This was directed by Roger Nygaard, written by Steve Oedekerk and Robert Kuhn. Produced by Robert Mendoza and Roger Nygaard, starring Steve Oedekerk. Thomas F. Wilson, for those of who don't know, plays Biff Tannen. And this was after that. He's already
it's
done
some
Biff Tannen
years.
in the first Back to the Future. He has not
Yeah.
done the sequel yet. But yes, Thomas F. Wilson, Denise Crosby, who you will know from Star Trek The Next
Next Generation,
Generation, or
Tasha Yar. She's in Walking Dead too as well, and
yeah, what was the
she's
other
in
one we were
so
talking about
many
where it
things.
was like she has the same haircut in that too?
Yeah, I don't remember, but
Yeah, I can't remember.
she
Yeah.
really is in a lot of things, but I don't think, I think unfortunately for her, it's like a lot of her roles don't stand out as much as like Tasha Yar for people.
Yeah, it's
They
the
just don't.
haircut. It's the
They just don't.
haircut.
Anyways, it's got Fred Willard, it's got uh
Drew Carey show. It was the Drew Carey
Drew
show.
Carey show. That's it. Jim Carrey and uh Kirsten Dunst. You know,
Oh
like
yeah, yeah, and Yanni Lane, Warrant frontman Yanni Lane.
oh right, Yanni Lane. Like
Yes.
the thing is, but it's you gotta remember it's 1992.
Yeah, none of these
The
people were. Not
They're
even
not
Jim
famous.
Carrey was a thing yet.
Jim Carrey's not even famous yet. He doesn't really get famous until 1994. So this is all very like this might as well be a student film, basically. It's like, and that's how I felt when we were watching
A
it. Is like this
very
might as well be
expensive. I
a
want to
student film.
know where the money went. I'm miffed by this. I mean, maybe film was
It's Fred,
expensive. I don't know.
yeah,
Yeah, let's get through these credits.
yeah,
So cinematography by Alan Altman. Alan, is that Alan Altman? Is that the Alan? I don't know. Tom Sitter did the editing. Music by Vladimir Harunzi. Harunzi. Oh man, I'm gonna be great with names. The production company was Film Brigade. This is distributed by Rocket Pictures. Not until 1994.
or yeah.
After, yeah.
After Jim
Uh,
Carrey got famous, which is also when a lot of people went looking for the movie because they were like, "Oh shit, there's a little indie film
yes.
that Jim Carrey's in. Let's go find it."
Technically, its initial release would have been January 8th, 1992 at the Palm Springs International Film Festival. The
There
next
you
time
go.
it would air would be in April at the USA Film Festival, and then I'll have a whole list later of all the festivals that it played. But for some of you might not know, because this isn't a film podcast, and again, I don't I'm not like in film. I know what I know by the things I've watched on YouTube and the things I listen to at podcasts. But
And the
basically,
way you feel when you watch a movie.
yes, if yeah, precisely. If a studio didn't say, "Hey, make this movie for me," then your movie has to be sold to a
Yeah,
production company because you've already produced the movie, right? You've made the movie.
yeah.
I made this movie. But unless you have the money to then
'Cause you gotta get it distributed somewhere, and you
distribute the
gotta get
movie,
it
right?
pushed into
Yes.
somewhere,
And
v
if you're
or
not a person
in
who like
VHS or
I
DVD.
feel like I could make a film. I could never distribute a film,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like so yes, you take it, you show it at festivals, you hope a distributor pops up. There are certain festivals that are specifically to get film
You give yeah,
distribution.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like,
There's
people go and
the
they're like
film market. Yes, one's
yeah,
called the film market.
they're like, "Oh my god, this is a great indie film. Let me buy it from let me
Yes.
distribute it for you." Yeah, yeah.
Yes. And then some festival movies I think are just for, like I like made this to play the festival circuit. Like I wanted
Yeah,
this to be seen by the art folk.
yeah.
And then,
Or it's a passion project. No
yes,
studio's gonna pay me to make this movie, so
right.
I'm gonna make
This
it
is where
because 'cause
I'm going
I'm
to
right
get it
when I can.
seen.
Yeah.
Yes. So, January 8th, 1992 would have been the initial. The budget for this film somehow $400,000. That's not
That feels
adjusted
like
for inflation. That's like a
no,
$1.2 million film.
that feels like a lot for what this film is, considering it's a one set film and, well, I guess
It's
the
like,
limo rental, I
yeah,
guess.
yeah. And then like maybe the front porch where Kirsten Dunst pops up. That's it. That's the only thing that takes place outside of his apartment. Um, so in case you guys haven't been here, Kristen and I have like basically 10 questions that we run through. I
Yeah.
wrote my little essay for question one, so if you don't mind, I'll just answer this
Yeah,
one
you go
first. And,
first. You
okay.
go first.
So every week so far, every time we've done this, it's not every week. I've written a little mini essay. These are the reviews that I put up on Letterboxd. Clearly, if you listen to the Candyman one, I did like a 5-minute red essay because I fucking love that movie. It's near perfect, and this, that, or
It's
the other thing.
beautiful.
Right. But it's not that long for this one. Hang with me because it's mean. Okay. Question number 1 for us is, what is your initial reaction to the film? High Strung is less a movie and more a 90-minute endurance test of one man's rage-fueled monologue. And I promise you, by the end, you will be Googling, how can you file a restraining order against a voice? Steve Oedekerk, who also wrote the thing, screams and whines through the entire film like your least funny uncle trying stand-up for the first time at Thanksgiving. It's not clever, it's not insightful, it's just one man in a room yelling about literally everything and then yelling some more. The craziest part, there's actually an impressive cast lurking in this train wreck. Kirsten Dunst makes a blink and you'll miss it appearance. Fred Willard pops up, and Jim Carrey, yes, that Jim Carrey, plays Death. Sounds cool, right? Instead of any makeup or dramatic flair, they just let Jim Carrey contort his face and do a rubbery, weird voices, like he wandered in from an SNL audition he didn't get. It's like they ran out of budget and just said, Jim, do the thing. He does. It's unsettling, and not in the good way. The movie feels like a sketch that never ends, where the punchline is just your own creeping sense of regret. There's no pacing, no plot, no relief, just Oedekerk ranting like a YouTube comment section brought to life. It's not even so bad it's good. It's just bad. Watching High Strung is like being trapped in an improv class where no one is allowed to say scene. Honestly, I would not wish it on my worst enemy. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad.
Wow. That was rough, man. That was rough. No, I think it's fair. It was rough, but fair. Like,
okay, can I really quickly, before you even answer, I just want to really quickly make a defense of my mean statements.
yes.
If I had 400,000, let's not even adjust for the inflation. I'm not going to say Steve Oedekerk's a narcissist, but if I had $400,000 and I'm writing the movie, I cannot imagine being like, all right, so I'm going to look directly into the camera and just kind of bitch for 90 minutes. What do you guys think? I'm writing a cool fictional story. Maybe a little love happens, but like a coming of age, like we're going to get 6 neighborhood friends. We're getting fucking bikes and we're doing like edgy ET. Like, let's go.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's right off the top. And it might be shitty, but it's not going to be me sitting in my apartment looking at a camera being mad.
Yeah.
That's all. That's all I'm saying. Like, I could have used some sort of narrative through. Yet here we are. I guess he learned a lesson I don't fucking know. Kristen, what were your initial thoughts about the movie?
I feel like it had so like, I'll be honest, there were a couple times. Yeah, there were a couple times where there were some good jokes in there. I feel like the idea was okay. The execution what was wrong. And like I likened it to some movies like High Fidelity and stuff where where the main character does look at the camera and does rant, but the difference being is it's not 90 minutes of John Cusack just ranting, even though I'm pretty sure I would watch that movie, John Cusack. If you ever heard this, I would watch you rant for 90 minutes, but that's because you are funny as hell sometimes.
That's what I was just going to say. Big Saved by the Bell fan. I could listen to Zach Morris turn off, break the fourth wall, and talk to me for a couple minutes every time. He's handsome. He's charming. I want to hear what he's got to say.
Yeah. But it's like, I feel like the idea was right, but the execution was wrong. And I feel like some of his tangents were there were a couple moments where I was like, yes, actually, this is a good rant, this part right here. But then it was like, I don't know if he didn't take it far enough because one thing, it never really felt like he went too far in any of them either. Like especially for 90s, that type of 90s satirical, ranty type of humor, none of it ever went too far. It was like he went up to the edge and was like, oop, that might be a little edgy. I'm gonna bring it back here just a tiny bit.
The movie literally opens. If you listen to the sound, I'm gonna play it again. I'm gonna play this open. It's 9 seconds. You can already hear a spoon clacking in a cereal bowl.
Yeah.
The opening joke is how mad he is that you always finish cereal before the milk.
Milk.
But if you don't put enough milk in, then you won't have enough for the cereal.
Cereal.
So the ratio to cereal, man. So you got to either pour. I'm like, dude, that's how you opened it. You
Yeah.
opened it with mad about too much milk in your cereal. That's your fault. I
Yeah,
don't know.
and I mean, and then, like, there's I know, like, just some of them, they just I was like, "Dude, you coulda done, like, some way edgier humor. It's 1992. You coulda just you coulda" I mean, peel into the rich, man. Just peel into the rich.
I would have.
Job done.
I would have taken. He meets Fred Willard in the first 5 minutes,
Yeah.
and really does agree to go get insurance. Wackiness ensues between getting from his apartment to
Yes.
the insurance
Give me
place,
some motion
and he turns and looks at the camera every couple of minutes and goes,
and
"Can you
says something
believe
like
that happened?" or
yeah,
whatever.
like
I
somebody
really hate
joking
when that blah 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 blah.
like somebody's walking towards him and he does a thing where it's like, "They're not gonna move over. They're not gonna move over a step. They want
Sure.
me to move over a step." You know, a little bit about that, the person walks into him and he's like, "Can you believe that? I had to move over. Why do I have to move over?" Perfectly fine rant, could have been great on screen if it was done right, you know, like, really little moments like that, like, little things that could trigger little rants that anybody would have and be like, "Ha ha ha, yeah, I fucking hate that shit too. Fuck, people
Well,
suck,"
that's what
you know? Like,
I
that's
mean,
all you
Jerry
need.
Seinfeld had been doing it
Jerry
a couple
Seinfeld.
years.
Yeah.
Paul Reiser, like
Oh,
these are the
yeah.
guys that like just take the things that like the mundane,
The little tiny
observational humor.
little tiny, like, annoyances of life and turn it into a funny moment, and I feel like they could have done that, and, like, for sure, I can't remember exactly what the parts were that we laughed at, but there were a couple times where, like, we're
I
both
ha-
there's a
I have
we're
one of them because we have like
yeah,
a. We'll get to it, but
yeah,
yeah,
but
yeah,
there's a couple times that we both did laugh, and we're like, "No,
yeah,
that was a good zing." Like,
yeah,
that
yeah,
was a
yeah.
good one, that was valid, but, like,
My
there
favorite
weren't
moment
enough.
was a physical gag.
Yeah, yeah, but
Yeah,
there wasn't enough, you know, and it turned into this thing where you started going, "Oh my god, are you ever going to shut up?" Like, just get to the end, and,
turns out no.
yeah, and he just kept going. So, like, that's my initial response is, like, it was an idea that could have worked, that was executed poorly, you know? That's my
Yeah,
initial like, that's what I felt about it at the end of the day was, like, this could have worked. If it was I don't know if it was just him or if it was, like, you know, if you would have stuck someone else in that same situation, if it would have been better, but, like, it just seems like the execution of the idea just didn't go where it probably should have. There you
yeah.
go.
What's the one line pitch?
Fuck. Middle-aged depressed man sits in his fucking house and bitches all day long. It's literally what the movie's about.
Yeah, I put guy does 90 minutes of very complainy. You know what I hate? Jokes where very few land, then somehow learns a lesson or whatever.
Did he even learn a lesson?
Yeah,
Really?
because he like wanted to like he's at the very end, he's like, yeah, let's go to a restaurant, but if they don't
That's
have
true.
cereal,
That's true.
he was like
That's true.
willing to go out with Thomas
You know
F.
what?
Wilson.
I'm gonna be honest, the fucking cereal bit thing, how it, like, ran through the entire movie, like, that shit
Yeah.
started to piss me off.
Eh,
I'm like, "No, dude, you don't live on cereal,
and
okay?
if they
You
don't
do
have
not."
cereal at the restaurant, it's like, yeah, okay, grow up.
Yeah.
And I'm not even that kind of person who tells someone to grow up
You're right.
either.
No, but that is your first it's like, have fucking pizza, okay? Not cereal. Anyway, go on.
Yeah. How does it like capture the time where it was made?
Okay, so I do think it does capture a little bit of that '90s flair because the ranting, angry comedian rant like everyday life annoyance
It
type of
is that
humor
Paul
is on
Reiser,
point.
Jerry Seinfeld, like,
It's the
what's
stuff
the
that
deal with airline food?
John Cusack characters often kind of embody and stuff like that. Like it is very '90s, um, in that way, and even in some of the ways that he delivers it is very '90s. It's that rapid paced. I'm gonna just sit here and like spew all this out in what feels like a stream of consciousness type of talking, very ranty, but it's not done well. You know what I mean? Like, he does it, but it's not done well. It's he sounds like he should be up on stage actually half that time
Well, he's
in
a
front of an
stand-up
audience.
comedian. He is a
Yeah,
stand-up. That's like his thing. I
yeah.
think his sneakers are very 90s.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of newspapers just laying around his house.
I
Like,
guess the smoking thing, like
oh yeah, she comes in and just smokes and is like, where's an ashtray? Also,
and he
hey,
doesn't have one.
not a cell phone in sight. They're just
No
out there
cell
living
phone.
their lives, just
Yeah, no
there
cell
for the
phones.
moment.
But yeah, so I think it does capture like some of the vibes of the 90s for sure.
But also, like, it's a one set movie. So it's like,
It's a
yeah,
one-step
guy's
movie,
apartment decorated like 90s, records on the wall. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha.
right? No, for sure.
Well, who stood out then? Like, who is the.
That was such like, if you guys could have seen my face, I'm pretty sure I
Right.
looked defeated with that question.
The silence said everything it needed to. So here's the deal.
No,
We
no, no, no.
basically Kristen and I write. Well, I don't know if you fill yours out. I fill
I
mine
do
out
most
just so
of
I
the
have.
time. I
Yeah,
I
yeah.
left a lot of blanks in it this time because I was like, I don't
I
want to
filled
write.
out Fred Willard, maybe.
I was gonna say Fred Willard and what's his face, from Biff Tannen, like,
Oh
that's,
yeah, yeah. Thomas F. Wilson.
Thomas F. Wilson,
Yeah.
and not Thomas F. Wilson was not horrible. He said stupid shit because they made him say stupid shit, but his performance felt sincere. Like, he was just the optimistic, good friend,
I'm
and
not. I don't even.
he didn't overplay it. I don't think he overplayed the optimism either. He's just like, "Hey, man, you can't," he's like, "Hey, man, you can't live on cereal, and hey, you know what? 10 years from now, this won't even matter. We're gonna be fine." Like,
Yeah.
he was just a friend, and he did a fine job
I will
being a friend.
say I don't believe that anybody had bad performances.
No,
I just really hated the talking to the camera for 90
the
minutes.
constant
I want a story.
yeah,
There was
like,
not a story.
yeah, that was the other thing that bugged me. There wasn't really a story at all in there. Like, I get that the story was supposed to be he's a shitty person, kinda,
Yeah, yeah.
and
Oh, he's an
and that
author who writes dark books. Like,
for kids, like, where
yes,
did
yeah, yeah,
grandma
yeah,
go?
yeah.
Um, or
Or
bye
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 grandma.
Grandma.
Yeah, but, like,
We
I
laughed at that.
yeah, I get that he's supposed to be kind of a shitty person, like, just inside, right? Like, and that's why they do the constant ranting and stuff, and that he's supposed to learn his lesson and not be so shitty by the end, you know? But, but yeah, like, I don't think anybody acted poorly. I mean, they had Jim Carrey do Jim Carrey, and
Mhm.
what he did is the stuff he will become famous for in a
Jim
couple of
Carrey
years.
is like the New York Yankees. Like, you love him or you hate him. Like,
Yeah.
nobody's like, oh yeah, Jim Carrey, whatever. Like,
Yeah, yeah. But in the movie, like, they have him make funny faces and overact and be over whatever,
I
and that's the thing, though, that he becomes famous for later on, the fireman guy in Living Color, and
yeah, 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 yeah.
all the time in Living Color, half the time, all he's doing is making goofy faces. That is
That's kind of
90%
a
of his
shtick. Yeah,
shtick.
for sure. I
Yeah,
think
and even
the
in movies, even when you get to Liar Liar, part of his shtick is still, like, the kooky face on the shock and awe kooky face,
right,
and
right.
Dumb and Dumber, like, that it is part of his thing is his, like, elastic face that he has, especially back then, where he can seemingly bend it. Look at The Grinch. Even though he's got all that makeup on, you can see him twisting his face up, and
Yeah.
it is a talent he becomes known for later, but it's pretty much all he does in this, and it's not I think it's supposed to make him seem like I said to you when we were watching it, it's giving me a very, Twin Peaks vibe every time they show him, like, with the kind of almost disembodied sounds, the black thing, it, like, makes me think of, like, can't remember what it's called in Twin Peaks, but there's, like, another type of being who's, like, always fucked up like that whenever they're referenced and seen or dealt with, or they talk backwards and shit, so,
Fun
um
fact: I've never seen Twin Peaks.
oh, it's really weird. I don't even
Yeah.
know how to, I mean, cult classic, right? Cult
My
classic.
younger brother, huge fan, big David Lynch guy. So he's kind of like he's ran me through it, but I've never seen
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Or Fire
It's
Walk with Me, or like any of the
the
spin-off
spinoff.
stuff. Yeah,
I watched it when I was a kid, and I didn't understand 90% of it. Then I watched it
yeah.
as an adult, and I was like, "Ooh, okay, no, I get this now." But it was still really weird.
I
But
would
anyways,
also say that I've gotten into like quote unquote film in the last like year. You know what I
right.
mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I'm
watching it
catching.
for
I've watched a lot of movies, but
but
like,
not like film, right? Like,
yeah,
not like
right, right. And I'm
yeah,
not
yeah.
even trying to be like, you know,
You're just expanding your horizons instead
right.
of
I'm
just
trying to think
watching
of. I'm not
like
trying to be like, oh, yeah, I actually just watch film because most of the time I watch film and I'm like, God, that was so shitty. So
yeah.
it's I'm trying to find that appreciation. I'm trying to
You're
see
trying to
what
learn
people
that
see where they're like, oh my
yeah.
God. Especially because I listen to like a film podcast and I'm like,
You
oh, I'm
wanna understand.
making
You
all
wanna
the writing all
understand.
these things down and I'm getting 10 minutes into these things and being like, I'm gonna have to try this another time. Or I'm gonna have to watch this with Kristen or
Yeah.
it's stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I think
But
the big problem with Jim Carrey's face for me is that a lot of the time he's on the screen, he's supposed to be like intimidating or like
instead he's
scary
just
or
weird.
and
He's
they
just
don't play
weird.
it like it's ironic. Like
No.
Steve Oedekerk's Thane Thane is like terrified of him, like, and it's like
Or, like, right away,
he's
like,
just going
right
like,
away. Yeah.
like, it's I don't know, it's very
It's very Jim Carrey funny stuff, and I think but you know what? Again, though, maybe that's why I said, like, it gives me a vibe of, like, Twin Peaks, like, the Twin Peaks supernatural thing vibe that goes on, but, like, also, I'm just thinking, like, we are very used to the faces that Jim Carrey makes and the
I
sound.
love Jim Carrey.
No, no,
I'm one of
but
the biggest Jim Carrey
but
fans I know, but
but we no, but we are used to his faces, and we are used to the sounds he makes, and the faces he makes, and the way he contorts himself. 1992, people wouldn't be used to that face, and they would be like, "What's up with this
it's
psycho?"
okay, no one saw it.
Is No, I know, but you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I'm just trying to think, like, if you watched that, never had seen and having a love of Jim Carrey, you would be like, "What is up with this weird ass here? Like, why is he making those faces? That's really strange." Like,
true.
we look at it and we're like, "Jim Carrey." You know what I mean? You get what I'm saying, right? We're like so I'm trying to think, if you didn't know Jim Carrey and then you watch that, like, I wonder if it has a bit of a different vibe to it because of the darkness, because of the sounds and stuff. I wonder if it ends up having a bit of a different feel because we're just so used to him and his kookiness that maybe it does not play the way it's intended. You know what I mean? Like, not that I think it ever came off as too serious, but I mean, like, as a strange, bizarro thing.
Is Jim Carrey on the Mount Rushmore of Canadian celebrities?
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
For
I
sure,
won't make
for
you fill it out. I just wondered if Jim was there.
Oh, no, for
Uh,
sure, for sure.
so what's your
I
was it
can though, Mike Myers, John Candy,
Rick Moranis?
Rick Moranis. Yeah,
He
yes,
doesn't have to be there, I get but
No,
he's coming
no,
back for
no,
Spaceballs.
he's coming back for Spaceballs, so he's totally there. Keanu Reeves,
Oh,
the
yeah, I forget Keanu's Canadian as
I
hell.
know so many people think he's from California. He is not. He's from
I know
Toronto.
he's sort of marred in controversy recently, but I do like Ryan Reynolds a lot as well.
Yes, Ryan Reynolds. Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yes. Yeah, I know.
yeah.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds is from like down the road.
Big fan, big fan. So what moment is your the question we have is like sticks with you the most, but I basically pick my favorite moment, and then I pick like okay, I'll just say the thing that stuck with me the most was the couch gag where he had
Well,
like
when
the
he couldn't move
stick
the
and he's
couch.
yeah yeah well he couldn't move the couch, but he's like
Yeah.
reaching over and and then Melanie walks in and goes, "Is this
Did you
yours?" and just picks
Yeah,
it
yeah,
up from the
yeah,
other
yeah,
side.
yeah.
That might have been the hardest laugh I got in the whole movie.
That was
And I,
good. That was
and it
good.
was like, okay, that was not. I mean, it was good, but it was like that was a quick little physical
Okay,
gag that
but
like,
you know what? We had already had like 45 minutes of him droning on, so the physical
yeah, yeah,
gag hit with impact. You
it
know what I
was
mean? Like,
necesario.
yeah, like
I think Jim Carrey's because it wasn't bad. Jim Carrey's out of place performance. They didn't put like devil horns on him or anything. Like go to the
I think they
Halloween
just depend
store.
I think they just depended on him contorting his face. The moment that stuck with me the most was actually that Bye Bye Grandma book that's a pop-up book for
Oh
kids
yeah,
to know what to do when your grandma dies, like that.
that was probably actually one of the best gags in
Like that
the whole deal.
that part stuck with me in a good way. Like that was one of the parts like I didn't because you don't find out what kind of child's book he writes right away. It comes out kind of slowly, right? Then it's like, and it's a pop-up book. And like the grandma
Right. We don't
comes
do
in
pop
and
up
out of the
books.
you know, like the grandma comes up and down in
And
the
the pop-up book
coffin.
goes,
Like so
yeah.
that part stuck with me. Okay,
Someone
what
had to
was the next
make that too, so I can
I
appreciate
know, right? Skill. What was the next question?
that. What's aged the best and the worst? This is one that I left blank. I really don't.
No,
I
okay. No, I have a what's aged the best. I do. Okay, I had to think about it for a moment. What's aged the best is that like I mean, it's not it's the fact that there is a movie out there that has Fred Willard, Denise Crosby, um, uh, Jim Carrey, and Kirsten Dunst, like all of them at a point in their uh, in their stardom where they're not necessarily huge stars at the time. Like, and people were pissed at Denise Crosby for leaving Star Trek. So people were like, there were not like tons of fans following her around trying to see her movies at the time, you know?
yeah, yeah.
So the fact that we have this little time capsule of all these people really early in their careers, I think that's what's aged the best about it. It's like a little it's like this little unique piece of history, that and too, that all of these people are in the same place at the same time. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they are all in this movie. It's interesting because that's not a mix we're gonna, I think, ever see again. Um, Especially with the types of movies that, Kirsten Dunst went on to do, like, it's they're not crossing these people, like, I think Fred Will if anyone was gonna cross paths again, it would be Jim Carrey and Fred Willard, and I don't know if they have, part of me says they have, but, I mean, these people are all so different from each other and in the way that their stardom goes that, like, this is the only thing we're gonna see with them, like, and some of them super young, like, I think Dunst is what we figured out, like, 8 in this or something like that, like,
Yeah,
she's super
8 or
baby,
10. Yeah, it was
you know?
very, very young.
Jim Carrey is also very young because it's pre and living color, so it's just, interesting like, I think that's the part that's aged the best about it is that it's, like, kind of a little unique envelope of time. If that makes sense. I hope that
Yeah,
that makes
no,
sense.
no, no. I think that's far deeper than I looked into it. Um, and that's not. I just, gosh,
It was not an easy watch, okay? I'm
yeah, and
just
and like, and that's like that's what got us to the movie, right? Was I was like, dude, did you see who's in this fucking movie? Like, this is what's going on here.
like, what's with all these
And
people
we've
in
been
this?
this
Yeah,
is the word this is like 3.5 months in the like, hey, we're gonna watch this one. I think in December we're gonna do this one. So like
yeah.
I've been excited about this. And it's available nowhere. It only ever came out in VHS. We found it and streamed it on. Have you ever been to that website we were on? I never had. Uh
I was shaking my head in case you guys can't hear the
yeah, yeah.
rocks in my
It had
head,
it
but
had it had like the weird suffix where it was like whatever this website does SR2 or it's like
yeah,
okay,
yeah, like,
whatever.
you had to hunt for that. You had to
Yeah.
work for it.
It's
Yeah.
on YouTube, but it's like I
Potato
hunted
quality,
for
right?
us. Yes, I hunted for us the highest quality. And what was it in 360p?
360, yeah.
Yeah. And that was the best I could find. That was a good 40-minute search too. Like I spent like more time searching
Looking
for it
for
than
it.
enjoying this movie.
Yeah.
So I say great answer from you. I'm just going to agree.
Thank you.
I grabbed some notable moments since it was kind of my turn. I don't know if you grabbed any, but I'll run through these. And if you've got any extras, feel free to.
I'll
Okay,
feel
so
free to add them in. You got it.
yeah. Okay, so this movie was funded by former orchestra conductor Vladimir Horensky and
Okay.
rock guitarist Sergei Zobletsky. Both of whom had fled to the United States from Russia in 1979 after they refused to join the Communist Party. Horensky persuaded Zabletsky to invest his entire life savings to produce the film. That makes me very sad.
Yeah,
Jim,
yeah, yeah, poor dude.
Jim Carrey agreed to a small role in the film due to his friendship with Steve Oedekerk. His cameo is uncredited per the terms of the contract. Yeah, Jim Carrey or James
Like,
Carrey as he was going by then.
this was
The,
doing a friend a favor, right? Like,
Yes,
this
his
is
name is
a
not
little
in
favor.
the credits. He was not supposed to get credit. Carey's management team asked the film producers not to use his name or likeness in association with the promotion of the film at all. Regardless, when the film got picked up in 1994 for VHS distribution, Jim
Of
Carrey
course.
was on the front. And you know what they did? You know what they did, Kristen?
What?
They
Like,
put
like
horns on
Scream.
him.
Oh,
They
they
put
put
horns
horns
on
on him.
him.
I was I'm gonna say they sold it like Scream, like when how Drew Barrymore was like, it's like, "Look, Drew Barrymore's in a movie. Drew Barrymore's in a movie." She does. Run away.
I mean, it's kind of like that. How long
It
is he
is
in the
kinda
movie? He
like
has like
that.
six
Yeah.
lines over the phone, and I mean, like, does it count? He didn't slide that letter under the door, and then he's in the inn for like 5 minutes, right?
5 minutes, maybe? Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So let's see. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Okay, so yeah, I think that's hilarious. We'll find a way to we'll post that on social media or something,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you guys can see it. I want to show you it real quick too, because Jim Carrey's in like a tux. Like I don't know what they did. They like just take a rando picture of Jim
It was
Carrey?
probably a random picture, yeah.
Did they like because Steve Oedekerk on the cover? He just looks like. Oh yeah. I'll just show you later.
Okay.
Steve Oedekerk looks like it was totally like photoshopped, but Jim Carrey is like standing there in a tux. First of all, it does not wear a tux in the movie,
No.
with a red bow tie, or you could just Google it. And he's got red horns. So Anyway, High Strung was screened at several film festivals, including the San Jose Film Festival, the Palm
Yep.
Springs Film Festival, the 16th Cleveland International Film Festival, the 22nd USA Festival, Houston International Film Festival, the Rivertown Film Festival in Minneapolis, the New Hampshire Film Festival, the Florida Film Festival, and the Philadelphia Film Festival, and the Berkshire Film Festival. Despite positive reviews and winning awards, which I could not find, I literally, when I read that line, I was like, oh, let me go find the awards. So I'm guessing it won some award at one of these.
Like one of those indie, like, up and coming movie
It's
type
not,
of
it
deals or
is
whatever.
lost
The
to time
Crying
so far as I know.
Dolphin.
I'm sure Steve Oedekerk knows, but despite positive reviews and winning awards, the producers failed to secure theatrical or in-home video distribution. According to director Roger Nygaard, I learned the film industry is like selling shoes. They all want brand names, and we didn't have a brand name. Steve
Yeah.
Oedekerk is quite well known as a stand-up comic, but that didn't matter to exhibitors. They wanted film names. The success of Ace Ventura: Pet Detective
I
in
feel
1994. Do you want to say something?
Well, I just feel like that's a cop out, especially since in the '90s there were, people that were historically stand-up comedians starting to get into movies, so I feel like that's a cop out excuse, but, that's alright.
I feel like
I
even
won't
before
go
the
there.
90s, like Richard Pryor.
There were people that their whole shtick was stand-up comedians.
Eddie
Eddie
Murphy.
Murphy, there were people that was their whole thing going into the '90s
There
is
are
that they were
plenty
stand-up
that we're
comedians.
not thinking of that anybody listening to this is going, this one and this one.
Yeah,
And
like, so I feel like that's a cop out to say, "Oh, they didn't want well-known stand-up comedians." No, there was totally a place for well-known stand-up comedians, so that's a bit of a
yeah.
cop out, but that's okay, I'll
Yeah,
let you have it.
Roger.
I'll let you have
Uh,
it. I just feel like it's a cop out.
the success of Ace Ventura: Pet Detective in 1994 launched Jim Carrey's film career and renewed interest in High Strung among several independent distributors. So basically, Jim Carrey got so famous that distributors were like, hey, 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 we'll put out that shitty movie you were in a while ago, remember?
Yeah,
So the film producers sold the distribution rights to Rocket Pictures, could not find for how much. So there is an amount of money
$5.
that was made, and it could have been more than 400,000. Who knows? I doubt it.
I doubt it,
Um,
but it could have been.
could have been. So in 1994, that would have been the first time you could have watched the movie at home, unless you were at one of those film festivals I listed. 1994 would have been
And there are people that
your
love
time.
going to indie film festivals, so
Mhm.
maybe you saw it then.
Yes. What is what is this
Wait,
film's?
wait. I was gonna say, interesting, like, this isn't, like, directly related to, like, the movie's release or whatever, but since we're talking about little things, I thought it was interesting that, like, on Rotten Tomatoes, it has a critic review of 0, but an audience scoring, like, at sometimes being 80%, and that, like, people there it is like a cult classic
Do you
to
think the
some people.
critic review is 0 because there are literally no critic reviews?
Oh, probably. It's probably one of those movies that has, like, a underground cult following that, like, there are people that are, like, diehard fans of it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there are probably people out there that this is their comfort movie, you
And
know?
maybe, but the thing for me is like when I Google it, only the 2016 movie comes up. You have to put in High
You have
Strung
to put in the work.
1992, or else you're
Yeah.
not getting any information about it. So it feels like there'd be, I don't know, something
Like
that would pop up, right?
one of the reviews, a person says, "If you can find this movie, watch it. It's clever and funny." Um, so, like, there are people out there, basically a rounded out kind of summary of the reviews is like, it feels like a recorded stand-up routine, which, you know what? It does. And I mentioned that at the beginning thing, it sounds like stand-up or whatever, and that is his shtick, right? And some people find it hilarious, and in hindsight, now find it nostalgic, and it feels like some kind of nostalgia itch for them.
Yeah.
But apparently, like, it has a bit of a cult following, which of course it does, because like every weird film that's out there has a bit of a cult following. There's an
Right,
audience
right,
for
right.
almost every. But I just thought it was interesting that, like, the critic review is like 0, but like the people that have taken time to review it that are somewhat fans or whatever, um, generally really love it, which is interesting. It's like I don't think it was like it wasn't a good. I couldn't watch it again. And I really love, like, a good I love Dennis Leary. He's one of the funniest fucking people, I think, in some movies. His rants and shit crack me up. How angry he gets about everything, I love it. Also, usually his anger is, mixed in there with a bunch of other funny moments from other
Yeah,
people.
what are those fish boots?
Like, he doesn't usually break the fourth wall, like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but in any case, like, I love a good rant, but this didn't, this didn't do it for me. One of the descriptions I found for this movie is that is a darker, edgier cousin to Seinfeld's observational style.
Yeah. And I think we were
So
talking. I looked it up while we were watching it. Like the television show Seinfeld began 3 years prior to this.
yeah.
Um,
Okay, next question.
really quickly though, I was just while you were talking, I was kind of looking at Roger Nygaard, the director. I want to see what else
Yeah.
he had done prior to this. He had done 2 TV shows, both of which I guarantee you watched: Tales of the Unknown and
Okay.
Monsters. So he
Oh,
directed
yeah.
an episode of each. I was watching Monsters like a week ago because it's on Shudder. Um, Running up the list, the only movie that he's directed that I think you might have seen otherwise is Trekkies,
Okay, yeah, I know
which I have
Trekkies.
not seen, but it's documentary
Yeah, it's a
about people
documentary
it's
who
about
are love
Trekkies.
Star Trek. It's about
Yes,
Trekkies. Yeah.
Other than that, he went basically. It looks like in the early 2000s he switched to directing TV again. So he
Uh,
directed an episode of The Office,
okay.
the Bernie Mac Show, Zoe 101. There's more. I'm just kind of giving you the ones you've probably heard of. That's it. So I mean, there are other shows, and maybe someone will be like, why didn't you mention this one? But I was just curious to see where the director of this film ended up.
Yeah, no worries.
The next question was, what is this film's legacy or influence on cinema and culture? I said one does not exist. It
Yeah, I
wasn't
don't
even
feel
distributed for 2 years after it, came
yeah,
out.
no, I don't think it has a legacy. I think it's one of those things that's like
Unless
it's
you go look at that cast. Don't look at the movie. Just look at that
yeah, look at the
cast, though.
cast. I mean, like it's one of those movies. It's like just like it's like a rare oddity that appears in somebody's like favorite movie list or something like that because they watched it once when they were high in high school. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like that's what it seems like to me. It's like one of those oddity type movies that
Does nobody watch 2001: A Space Odyssey anymore?
it's one of those things that, probably almost nobody knows about, but the people that know about it probably think they're extra clever. I don't mean that as an insult, okay? I'm just saying, like, that's I'm gonna say
Now
they're gonna
we're
be the
those people, though.
yeah, but, like, the people that are gonna be like, "Oh, it's like Jim Carrey's, like, first film type of thing." Like, that's how they're gonna explain it to you. It's like Jim Carrey's, like, first film. It's, Kirsten Dunst, like, when she's 8, like, so before I Interviewed the Vampire. Like, the people that are gonna point out those things about it because that is really the most interesting thing about the movie, you know? So,
That's the legacy.
that's the legacy.
Truth. Would you recommend this film to a modern audience? I guess I didn't answer the last one, but I
Yeah,
did
yeah.
answer
No,
it.
you
I
already
did
no,
answer
you
it. Yeah,
did. You
yeah.
said there is none. It was played nowhere.
Exactly. I'm just trying to forget this as quickly as possible.
Um, I I don't think this one, I don't think I would recommend it to modern audiences. There are so many points in this movie that, like, I also think that a lot of modern audiences, like, especially people that weren't alive to witness the 90s and early 2000s, I think some of this humor probably would not hit the same for them. And I'm part of that, I'm basing off the fact that there are those older comedians that are really only funny if you're 35 and up. And we all think they're hilarious, and younger folks are like, "These guys are not funny, they're just assholes." And you're like, "No, they're funny." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we get it. They don't. So no, I don't think I would recommend it to modern audiences unless you are really hard up, um, to, spend 90 minutes listening to someone complain. I mean, if you know what, pay me $10, I'll send you 90 minutes of me complaining. There you go.
Fun fact, Kirsten Dunst's actual first film appearance was a voice appearance, but besides that,
Yeah.
her first on-screen film appearance was in The Bonfire of the Vanities
Yeah.
with Bruce
Oh,
Willis and
yeah,
Tom
yeah,
Hanks. Yeah.
yeah.
So fun fact. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend this movie to anybody.
No.
So, final verdict, time capsule, hidden gem, or something that should stay buried.
It should stay buried, and honestly, I bet you Jim Carrey and all them think it should stay buried too.
It does appear on Kirsten Dunst's IMDb. I hadn't got there on Jim Carrey's yet, but I will say this. I will give, like I was just talking about, the the credits list should be a time capsule. That's a
Yeah,
cool,
that's a
and
cool.
it's like, were
It's
they all part of the same agency? Were they all part of the same like improv group? You know, like what did bring all of these people that would eventually, like, I mean, basically everybody in this. And I'm pretty sure that Yanni Lane had already been famous. Warrant had already done Cherry Pie. It was a
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
So
They already
he
had. They
was,
were already rolling. They were already rolling.
and maybe like fizzling out, right?
Mhm.
Like, so I don't know, just interesting that the reason we watched it were all those names, knowing full well.
It probably wasn't be good because he didn't know about it.
Right. High Strung does appear on his IMDb as uncredited.
Like I think I guess like I just think that like this isn't a performance that many of these people would want you to remember them for. Like, remember Jim
Kirsten Dunst
Carrey and
literally
Strung?
hugs Steve Oedekerk
And
and
runs out of
turns, and like
steam.
you could. I said to Kristen when we were watching it, because she's the only little girl that pops up, so it was like, oh,
Yeah,
it's, we
yeah.
knew
So
she
it
was
was
in it.
easy.
That was it. But if we didn't know that, neither of
You
us would
wouldn't
have been
know.
like, was that fucking Kirsten Dunst?
Yeah.
Even despite it being in 360p, like it just, there was nothing about that would have. I mean, they didn't know either, so it was like, why show her face? I don't know. It's just
Yeah, yeah. No,
such
it
a
was so
strange
quick. It
thing.
was so quick. It was so
I
quick.
think it's also just such a strange thing to see so many eventually very big stars,
Yeah,
all
that's what
of
makes
all of
no,
whom were unknown.
that's what makes this that is what makes the movie interesting is that it's the list of people so early in their careers that they were nobodies when they did this essentially and all of them become names of like unto themselves
Yeah,
with time, so
except Steve Oedekerk.
yeah. Well, actually, I was looking
Has he been in stuff?
well, he did other things.
Stays riding hard.
Yeah, so like Barnyard, the original
Oh,
Animal
that's right. We were
Factory,
talking about this. He
Evan
he
Al
wrote Kung Pao
Evan
into the
Almighty.
fist.
Yeah,
That's right. We were talking about this.
yeah,
Yeah.
Bruce Almighty, Juana Man, Kung Pao Enter the Fist,
Dang, Juana, man.
yeah, Jimmy Neutron, Nutty Professor, Patch Adams, Nothing to Lose, all both like so he did do director and writer things post this that did very well.
Do you
Just
remember all the Thumb shorts? He was the writer on those.
yeah, yeah, like, I don't think he's an unfunny person. I just think that 90 minutes of him ranting at a camera
Yeah. You're right.
isn't the right vehicle.
You right. And that's kind of what I said. I don't think his performance is bad. I just think the 90 minutes is too long.
Yeah, like I said at the beginning, the idea might have been right, but the execution was not right. There you go.
This motherfucker wrote Thumb Wars, The Phantom Cuticle. I've watched that more times than I care to admit. Well, that's about it, I
That's
suppose.
it.
Unless
That's
there's
it.
anything else you'd like to add. If
I
you
have
guys want
nothing to
to,
add.
I wouldn't think so. If there's anything you guys want to say to us, you can find us on all the social medias. We mean, I did post something today. I don't know if you saw that.
I mean, if you want if you think maybe we're being harsh, you go find it. You go watch it yourself.
That's
Then
true.
you let us
If you can't find it
let
for
us
some
know.
reason, reach out to us on socials and I will send it to
Yeah.
you.
And you let us know why we were wrong or, be honest and just tell us why we were right.
We
Um
won't. Yeah. We won't. Oh, beautiful. Well, I suppose thanks for watching the movie with me. I'm sorry it had to be this one. We should have just watched
No, it
A
was
Few
fun.
Good Men.
No,
Uh,
it wouldn't have been as fun to talk about. I think
that's so not either of our movies either. So
yeah,
we could have probably done Muppets Christmas Carol, but
I think it's interesting that we picked this one because if every movie we pick is a beloved fucking like we
no,
love
you're
that
not
movie,
wrong. You're not wrong. I can't wait to
then
see what I got for January in the list
not
then.
like not only are we not kind of expanding ourselves and trying different movies, but we're also just being like, "Hey, this movie is great. This movie's the best. I love this movie." And what's the point then?
Right.
We
Yeah.
both know why movies rock.
Yeah.
Did you see
Just
how they slashed that girl in the cabin? I know it was amazing. Her head came
yeah.
clean off.
I'm gonna need more than 3 locations and a whole lot less eye contact with the camera. Thank you.
There you go. There you go.
Thank
All right
everybody
then.
at Cromulent Show is where you can find us on social medias. Like I said, I did put an Instagram post up today. Just saying. Just saying.
I'm proud of you. You're
Technically, we're
good.
active. But again, we'll get the notification if you message us there, and then you can
Yeah, we'll
email
know you
us.
messaged.
Yeah, cromulent@gmail.com. Otherwise, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Kristen. Check out Kristen on Twitch, twitch.tv/ITSKRISTENEH. It's Kristen, eh? The
Yeah,
Canadian way.
I bitch. I make a lot of eye contact with the camera and bitch about things on
It's
Twitch.
I don't expect narrative fiction from your stream though. And the moment I do, you will be receiving shit from me about the amount of eye contact you're making and how it is excessive. All right. Thank you, Kristen. That's fun. I mean,
That was
look,
fun.
I like bad movies. It's not this bad.
This is not The Room.
No.
Even though it takes place in one room, it is not The Room.
It's a room.